3 ETFs to buy if you're a beginner investor. A little backstory, VFV is great, but it's not going to be my #1 buy and hold forever pick going forward. If you've been following me, you know I loved VFV for many years since I started investing 8 years ago. It's simple, it tracks the S&P 500, it works. But there's a smarter way to build a long-term portfolio now, especially if you want more diversification and long-term stable growth. Welcome back to Joyee Yang's Investing for Complete Beginners series. Today I'm breaking down 3 ETFs that, if you're a beginner investor, should definitely look into. They are ZEQT, VDY, and VGRO. Each ETF that I pick here has a unique purpose. I still love to invest like a beginner because I like to keep investing as simple as possible. I want to put my money to work, but I also want minimum stress. So in this video, you'll learn exactly 1. Why I picked these 3 ETFs for beginner investors, 2. How to maximize diversification into global markets and different asset classes, and 3. How to enjoy both capital gains and passive income stress-free. And 4. A simple ETF checklist for you to research an ETF before you buy. As always, please get your notebooks ready and follow along when I show you guys how to read ETF websites. Also hit the like button and let's start with why VFV is no longer my top ETF. If you follow me on Blossom, you can see that I'm still holding VFV and it's a big chunk. I have around $33,000 in that ETF. To be very clear, guys, VFV is still a solid ETF and I'm not selling it. But I am not buying more. Here's why. VFV tracks the S&P 500 index, so it's basically a basket with 100% US large cap stocks. That means you don't get exposure to Canadian stocks, no international markets, and no other asset classes such as bonds or small cap emerging markets. Small cap just means companies that are less developed compared to your blue chip stocks like Apple or Microsoft. Small cap stocks are riskier but have more potential to grow, so you want a small, tiny portion of it in your investments. A bigger concern for me is that VFV is becoming very tech heavy. Since it's a market cap weighted ETF, the largest companies automatically make up the biggest portion of the ETF. As you can see in VFV's top 10 holdings right now, it has a very heavy tilt to tech giants like Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, and Google or Alphabet. What's alerting here is 9 out of 10 top companies are directly related to AI. Even though I'm still bullish on the entire AI industry, I do not like my portfolio to be heavily weighted in tech and AI. That being said, the first objective of my investing to-do list in 2026 is buy more ZEQT rather than VFV. The main reason is because I want broader diversification. That means investing in more countries and more industries, not just US companies and tech. Let's open ZEQT's ETF page together. There are a few important things I want you to pay attention to. So first, we want to know what the objective is. So we can just search the ETF page and the official website should be showing up immediately on your Google search result. This is your sign that the ETF is managed by a good company. And in this case, it's BMO. So ZEQT is essentially an all-equity asset allocation ETF. This ETF owns a basket of other index ETFs, so it's a lot of stocks in this ETF. To verify this, we can look at the top holdings together. You can see it tracks the S&P 500 index, which gives you exposure to the US markets, and then the BMO S&P TSX Capped Composite Index ETF, which holds the biggest Canadian companies such as RBC, Spotify, Enbridge, and TD. So there you have exposure to Canada. ZEQT also holds the Emerging Markets Index ETF and Mid-Cap and Small Cap Index ETF, which is exactly what I want for broader diversification. Here's a super quick lesson on what Emerging Market ETFs and Small Cap Index ETFs are. First, Emerging Market ETFs. These invest in countries that are still developing like India or Brazil. They're growing fast, but they can also be more volatile because the economies are less stable than places like the US or Canada. Second, small cap index ETFs. Small cap just means the companies are smaller and less developed than big blue chip names. They often have more room to grow, but also come with higher risk. So by buying one share of ZEQT, you are basically putting your money into global markets, including multiple countries, emerging markets, and smaller companies that have potential to grow. If you're getting the idea of broader diversification now, comment ZEQT below this video to let me know that my explanation has been clear. Next, let's check the fees. Always find the MER on the ETF page because this figure tells you how much the ETF provider charges for managing the basket of investments. So BMO Bank charges 0.2% management expense ratio, which is peanuts. It's very low, especially for the amount of diversification that we get in just one click. I love everything that I'm seeing here. With ZEQT, I can spread my investments across US, Canada, international, and emerging markets with a low MER. But what about dividends? What about diversifying into other asset classes that stabilize my portfolio even more? Dividends is what a company pays you just for buying and holding their stock. Since you're a part owner of the company, you get a part of the profits. It's my favorite type of passive income. So my second ETF pick for beginner investors is VDY, a high dividend yield index ETF. If you want to earn dividends with the lowest risk possible, VDY is the ETF you can buy and hold forever. When we buy high dividend paying stocks like Enbridge and bank stocks, we still have to incur the short-term fluctuations in the stock prices if there's any major news or economic downturn. So to minimize the volatility, we can choose an ETF, which is VDY. It's a basket of many high dividend paying stocks. It's the simplest way to get paid for doing nothing. VDY focuses on high dividend Canadian companies, mostly banks, pipelines, energy, and telecom, so RBC, TD, Enbridge, TELUS, etc. These are mature, cash-generating businesses in banking and utility sectors. They are not driven by hype, they are necessities. That's why they have decades of consistency in sharing their profits with their shareholders. When we hold VDY, we don't get paid directly by the individual companies. Instead, we get a distribution from the ETF provider, Vanguard. Let's take a deeper look into this ETF together. You can just search VDY ETF, Fund Objectives, Vanguard High Canadian Dividend Index ETF seeks to track to the extent reasonably possible, blah, blah, blah. It invests primarily in common stocks of Canadian companies that pay dividends. Okay, now let's see how much they pay. You can go to prices and distribution, go down to distribution. So you can see that they pay every month. Even though the distributions per share kind of fluctuate every month, an average of 3.53% is still pretty good for not having to pick what to buy. The fee is low, and the yield is usually higher than a broad market fund. Also, under price analysis, you can see since inception that this is a long-term bullish ETF, thanks to the rebalancing efforts of management. So we have ZEQT for capital gain and VDY for dividends. Now the only thing missing is an ETF that adds additional protection against recession or any short-term market volatility. So my third ETF pick is VGRO, which is my secret to maintaining stability. Recently, when all major markets dropped in November, many of you guys saw my portfolio on Blossom and asked me why my portfolio barely went down. VGRO is the secret sauce. Of course, I also have other stable bank and utility stocks in my portfolio that are less affected by fear. Effective November 18, 2025, Vanguard reduced the management fee for this ETF from 0.22 to 0.17. Okay, let's go. So they lowered their management fee, which is great. We love a lower management fee. Vanguard Growth ETF seeks to provide the long-term capital growth by investing in equity and fixed income securities. VGRO is a balanced, all-in-one ETF from Vanguard. I'm buying and holding this ETF for long-term capital gains as well. But what makes this ETF special is that it targets about 80% global stocks and 20% bonds. This combination gives you growth with a cushion when markets drop. Under the holdings, we see broad US equity, Canadian equity, international equity, plus Canadian and global bonds. Bonds are what we call the hedging assets. When the stock market falls, bonds can hold value or rise higher. So the MER is low, and we get paid a mix of dividends and bond interest for holding VGRO. So let's look at the big picture of how I use these three ETFs. ZEQT is for pure growth, VDY is my income, and VGRO is my defense. On months when the market scares everyone, VGRO keeps my overall portfolio calm that helps me stick to the plan. I have previously made a very detailed tutorial on how to read ETFs. It's a must-watch for you to continue your learning right after you finish this video. You can also comment ETF tutorial and I'll send you a direct link to watch it. Now here's a simple checklist for you to save so that you know how to research any ETF on your own. Don't forget to drop a like and use the comment section to ask me anything. If you want a more detailed version of how to read an ETF, click this video over here. See you in the next video!